Uh, Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining. So we all know that we already learned workflows, catalog item building, all those things. Now let's start. Let's also learn about Flow Designer, how we can attach to the catalog item, how it can be driven in place of workflow, how the Flow Designer can work. So we will see now. Okay. So I will leave it to Jai Sundar. He will take it forward.
Yeah, hi all, good evening. So are you able to see my screen? Is my screen visible? Hope screen is visible. So are you able to see my
Yeah, we
screen?
can see yours.
Yeah, okay. So Flow Design is upgraded version for or the replacement version for workflows. So if you see Flow Designer workflow,
Sanjaya, I hope you are able to hear. Everyone is able to hear and everyone is able to see screen. Confirm me.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Seeing.
sir.
Yes, sir.
okay. So I
Yes,
think the message has changed. So previously it was even in the service now when we try to open the workflow editor, here itself it will say so previously we were using workflow as a masterpiece for designing any flows for any catalog items. As flow designer is implemented, so we have to migrate all the old catalog items or any other workflows where we are using to the flow designer. So this is recommended by ServiceNow. So flow designer is nothing but which will an application used to design automation that can execute multiple actions in a sequence when the trigger conditions are matched for that flow. So if you see flow designer, to open flow designer, so like it is in the under process automation. So here we have this flow designer. So when we open this, so this is the home screen of the flow designer. So here we have playbooks is a new version which it's latestly implemented. Flows and subflows and triggers, actions. So these are all the major things which we will be using in the flow designer. And we have operations or integrations. So we'll go to each of this buttons and what we have options available inside it. So let me go through flows. So I'll try to create a new flow. So I click on new and we'll choose flow. So first it'll ask for the flow name. Like we can choose update incident. So this is the name of the flow, and if you want to describe it in brief, we can explain it here. And the other major option available is run as. So when we try to execute any flow, it'll ask who should initiate this flow. I'm if I am trying to update any incident, so there will be some restrictions. So not all users can update all incidents because it has some ACLs or it will have some restrictions. So if it is system user, it will run with the admin role. If it is who initiates the user, then it will have the it cannot perform all the actions. So basically we'll choose this as a system user. Okay. build flow. So this is the home screen to create a flow designer. So here we have like the benefits of flow designer is like without using code, like we can perform like any kind of operation as like updating incident or creating incident or closing any record, deleting records. So for all these actions in service now, we don't have any option like automation option in previous versions. Like either you have to go for a business rule, or like you have to use any schedule jobs and write a script there, or you have to use a create a flow designer. And in flow designer also you might have some of the actions like a run script activity. So using that activities you have to write that script, and then only you will be able to perform any these kind of actions. So uh, so that is a benefit of flow designer. And we have like multiple options available in flow designer which is not available in workflows. That is like testing. So we can't test a flow until unless we create it, and you have to get into the catalog item, you have to submit a request. Only then you will be able to, you have to test it like manually, so and get into that flow. When you click on show workflow, from there only you'll be able to find the errors, so what is missing or something like that. But here we have is like test option available, and also we have like rollback activity. And this UI is also a bit different than flow designer, so it is like a advanced version. So not only developers, even any business person can use this flow designer and create his custom design, or like for to achieve anything in his daily requirements for business needs. Okay, so the main component while creating the field flow designer is like the trigger condition and the action, and flow logics or subflow actions here. So trigger condition is like something when we need to trigger this flow, like on what conditions we can trigger this flow. And on actions is something what all actions we can perform once we click on this flow. Just a minute. Okay. So triggers we have like we have three. Enter waiting to someone needs to be around.
I have allowed already. You can
Okay.
continue.
So these are all the three different trigger conditions when this flow can be triggered. So one is like record level updates. So record level changes or creation or anything. So if you choose record, so in this record we have created or updated. These conditions are similar to those ones when we try to create a incident, or like when we try to create a business rules. So if you remember, like, so any kind of action in a record, like if I try to open any incident record, so it can be triggered while creating this record, or like if I am trying to update this record, in the sense if I try to change the state or like any short description or description in any time of this action on this record, we can create a flow and then we can make it execute. So this is record. Shit. So schedule is something like when this can be scheduled. So if you want to do some of execute this flow on daily basis or monthly or repeat, so this is similar to a schedule jobs. So we will schedule a job like sending notifications or like uh, to sending up any follow up emails for any of the, like any incident is not getting closed for a long time or something like that. If you want to check something on daily basis, and or any kind of like time based ones, and for this we can use schedule. And then application is something, um, for which all applications we can trigger this flow. So this is when we receive an email from external source to service now, we can choose this application as inbound email action, instead of creating those inbound email actions using scripts there. So we can use this option directly, what action to be taken when we receive email to service now. And remote table query, it is for integration purpose. So, and then service catalog is like, when a service catalog is requested, like so once you request any catalog item, so then we for those actions to create a flow for a service catalog, we need to choose this application, and then the service catalog. An SLA task is like, it runs on the task table. From there, you can send any notifications or reminders that the task which is assigned to you, it's going to expire, like it has breached, something like that. We can perform this. So first, we'll go with any record. Okay, record level changes. How we can do it? What we do? Okay, so here what we'll try is like, when the category is inquiry and help, we and when the record is getting updated, or like when it's getting created also, if we can create a new record. So I'll choose as create, trigger condition as create. So here, like when we try to create a incident, we need to set some, we'll try to set some of the fields for those record without using script. So we will set a assignment group based on the category, and we will set some description, or like we will set a configuration item. Okay, we'll try that. So first, so what we'll do, we will choose the trigger condition as a record is created, and we have to choose a table. For which table we are trying to do this, I'll choose incident table. And we have this filter conditions when this flow should run. So we set like, based on the category. So here we can choose we can find all the fields which is in incident table in this query conditions. So I'm choosing this category, and enquiry or help. So when the category is enquiry or help, we are trying to update something. So this is the trigger condition and query condition we have updated here. So once you do that, just click on done. And then like, here is the action, what type of action you need to take, or any logics you need to check. So everything we'll do it here. So if you click on this icon, like we have action, flow logic, and subflow. Actions are something like which is available in ServiceNow. uh, like we can also create a custom actions using like integration hub. We I'm not able to scroll actually. So these are all out of box actions which is available. We don't use all of this actually. Only we will target on this ServiceNow core actions available. So these are all like different actions which we'll be using while creating a workflow, like flow designer. Mm, so the major actions which we use is like approvals, ask for approvals when you need to ask for any approvals. Currently, I will go to that while we are doing something related to catalog item. So we are trying to what we are trying to do. So based on this triggered condition, we are trying to update a record. So here we have like create or update record, create record, uh, like lookup records, which will search for records, send email. If you see any of this, or like if you click on the side button, it will explain by itself what we can do. So currently I'm choosing update record. So which record needs to be updated? So like we can we can able we select that using this record option. So this is data fill, which we can select the target record. So it is asking for us for the record, which record needs to be updated. We have choose the update record. So when you click on this data fill, so it will the trigger condition we have chosen a record. So the same record we have to choose, and then incident record. So that incident record, which makes this this condition, the same record we are trying to select, and then we are trying to set some values. So here it is asking for add field values. So one thing is like assignment group we are trying to set. So you can choose any of the group here. You can search for service desk, and you, and configuration item. First, help and support customization, something I've chosen, and then so similarly you can update multiple condition, like you can whatever you need, you can try, you can add those fields and set some values. uh, and then like these are all the actions if you want to perform, and like this is flow logic is something what you need to do, like you want to check any conditions if you want to apply, like we have this activities in workflow, right? Like if condition else. So similarly you can use those you can use those activities here. Here end flow. So it's not and subflow, if you want to call any subflow, then we can use subflows. We'll get into subflows later. So, so we'll leave it here, like we'll test this one. So for testing, first we need to save and or activate this flow so that it will start working. It says your flow will start running when the trigger conditions are met. So if you click on activate, it will activate it. So if you deactivate, it will not work. So, so we are trying to create record, and it should set this configuration item and assignment group when the category is inquiry and help. So we are not setting those values, but it should be updated once we save this record. Okay, so it took some time to do that. So if I refresh, so if what all conditions we set is like assignment group is service test, and then configuration item is the one which we set there in the flow. So from the beginning, like what we did is like first we tried to click on s- some flows. We went to flows and we clicked on new, and then we have first set the trigger conditions when this should be triggered. The trigger condition is record and then created, and then we have tried to set this incident table, and then condition like category is this one, and then we are trying to use this action called update record, and we are trying to update using this. We are setting the field values, and once we activate it will start working. So
Can you
this
close
one,
this below pop-up, Jason? We are recording that. Yeah.
yeah. So this one is understandable, right? Any doubts till now? So in general how you do it is like you have to go to this incident table, and then you have to create a business rule, and then you have to set this values the
Right, they
same we are trying.
learned, yeah, they learned about auto assignment. They learned about business rule, all those things through business rule. How can we update through?
Yeah,
So they learned it, but this is something automation can be done through even flow designer also. That is what Jason is trying to explain.
yeah,
Do you guys have any doubt till now? So we can go to the other conditions like sending email. Then one more condition is we can also attach to catalog item, the flow designer. Anjaya, Chandana,
yeah.
Arti,
Yeah,
Like
Sadik.
this, like if you want to like try something, like if you want to close this child incident when the parent incident is getting closed, so here we have like child incidents. So if when you're trying to close this parent incident, you need to close this child incidents as well. So for that, like we can use so in this update incident, like here we have like different functions, as I said, like here, and we have like lookup records. If you, we can check all those records, and let me do it. Let me check in.
You can ask questions. Don't need to worry about guys. Okay, so we'll
Yeah.
take 2 3 examples and do it. Don't worry.
So here some of them are closed and some of them are work in progress. So what we are trying to do is, so when I'm closing this parent incident, we are trying to update this child incidents. Same flow new. this name, build the flow. So trigger condition is again record this updated table is incident. So trigger condition is state changes to closed or resolved. So we will just resolve. Run done. Flow logic action lookup records. So lookup record is to check the records which are all under this parent incident. So here we have this field called parent incident in all the incident forms. So this is the parent for all the setup. So we are choosing parent incident. From data fill, I am trying to get the record which we are trying to close. So the trigger we are uh, trying to close a record. So those record I am choosing it here. Right. So, record. So here in the action in the flow logic, I am trying to choose for each record. So for each record found in this condition, we are trying to do this. So here I am choosing this lookup record. Okay, sorry, I'll choose the lookup records instead of this. ServiceNow records. So we have two actually, so that is why it was not visible. Lookup record and lookup records. So while trying to close this record, resolution code and resolution notes are mandatory. So we'll try to set those values also. So currently there are four which is not closed, and 1 7 which is here is also not closed. We'll try to solve this. Since the mandatory fields are not filled in, resolution code of resolution. Oh, but it got default. This way. So if you see, these four were not this three, and the last one was not closed. Like what was not resolved, it was in open state. It got updated. So something is missing is like that close notes. But you understood the logic, right? So we are trying to update multiple records without using script. So the different options available here, like in the actions, like create record, you can also create a record. So if a incident is created, you can create a new record. The things will be same, like you have to either set you have to set the values while you are trying to create a record or update a record. So how we have set here. So here what logic we have applied is lookup records. So it will check for all the records matching, which is matching for the query or conditions which we apply here, and then we are trying to update record. So here directly we can't update record because it is not for one record. So we have to get into this loop. So for all the records matching this query, we need to update. Since then we have used for each as a flow logic, and we are trying to update this record. So see, if you get into this and if you check, you can understand most of them. Similarly, you can also click on send email. So once this child incidents are getting closed, you can also send email notifications or send emails or notification. So if I click on send email, how it will look. So here we no need to go uh, go here and put into notifications module, and then create a notifications. Those actions are not required. Directly you can choose for what which record you need to send this trigger record for the parent record if you want to send any custom notification, and then if you want to send it to someone. For whom you should send, what who should be the CC subject. then the beam and body, whatever. So without getting into notification modules, we can use this action, send email action, and we can send notifications using this. So this one you can test it. And then service catalogs, how we can use flow designers. And for this, let's choose some catalog item, any existing item.
Yeah, you can apply for if condition and so finish.
Yeah.
Approval and if condition, then
Mm, here we don't have this variables. Try. Okay. So we will try to apply, create a flow designer for this catalog item. So when we do for service catalog, as I said earlier, the trigger condition you have to choose choose it as application, and then you have to choose service catalog. So this is the trigger condition for any catalog item. So first you have to set this trigger and nothing else required in this trigger. Then
first use if logic, I think, for approvals.
yeah, so for that, like first, so in catalog items, first thing which we do is like we need to get catalog items variable. So this is the first action which we'll do. So once you do this, we have to choose the catalog item name, or you can, so first this is the RITM. So you can choose this trigger here, request item record. So for which this flow should be executed, like for which RITM we are trying to get this like variables. Here we can choose if 515. So once you select this catalog items, it will show all the variables available in this catalog item. So you have to move from available to selected. So this action why we do is like to get the catalog item variables to this flow. So to use it in the next upcoming activities or for all those, first we need to get the catalog item variables. Here you will choose the catalog item, so it will display all the catalog item variables. And then if you click on done, so here also we will be able to see all the like accessible data pills in this record. So here what we'll do, located yes, okay, or else we'll go with the storage. So what we'll do is like we will try to set approval for 64 GB. So if they are trying to order item of 64 GB, then they need an approval. So first for this we will check for the conditions. So here we need to check whether it is 64 GB or not. So for that we have to go to this flow logic and use this logics, if condition, else conditions. So you have to we will try to use this. So here I am trying to use if condition, and label you can mention something always understandable to someone. And then either like you can drag drop here from data build you can select this, and you can get into this get catalog variables and then storage. So these are all the storage like variables of this item which is available from this uh, like the first action. And then if it is 64 GB like that, this is one way you can choose. Or else so here also we got all these variables here, so you can drag and drop. So drag and drop and then you can select. So two different ways to select. Always getting into here selecting some option may be difficult, but what all are available here you can also drag and drop. Here we'll try to use else. Okay. So if it is 64 GB, I need an approval to be triggered for some group, or for the line manager or for someone. So here, so to trigger approval, we have to use this action, and in ServiceNow core. So here only most of things will be available. So we need to understand like what will be there in the action is something to perform any kind of action. Logics are to check something or based on previous action, like for do parallel or something. All those logics will be available here. And this flow is to call a subflow. The same uh, things which we did like creating incident, updating incident, those things also if it is like repetitive. So if you want to do it for multiple times, or you want to update it for in multiple places, instead of creating it as a flow, you can call it create it as a subflow and you can use it as you know schedule jobs. So, sorry, scripting includes. Why you use scripting includes? Because it is like a reusable script. So instead of creating it as a business rule or like any schedule job, we have to create it as a scripting include for same kind of logic for this subflow. See here we are trying to ask for approval. We are trying to send approvals. So here this is ask for approval record. For which record you need to send this approval is always for the RITM. So from the trigger, this or requested item record. anyone approves. So like here all these conditions, you can also use percentage of users are approved. Like anyone approves is like I'm trying to choose a group, so anyone from the group approves or reject, so it'll either cancel or like it'll take action on it. All users to approve means it will wait for all the users in the group to take action. And this is like all responded, anyone approves is like only one person approval is enough. Rest all like we have to wait, but one approval is required, and percentage of users to approve, like 50% of the group is approved, or like something like that logics also you can choose. Basically we use this anyone approves, and we will choose the group. Mm, add group. So this is like to add users, this is for groups. Choosing service test, and then done. So first we have asked for approval, and then we have to check if they if their action taken on it is approval or rejected. We are using flow logic, if condition, check if approved. Oh, so this here we have asked for approval, and here you can check approval state. So here we can find the states approved. So we are checking if the record is approved, and then we will perform actions. So what we'll do is like after they have approved, then we will check. We will create a task. Create catalog task is also directly available. So create catalog task. RITM is it is asking for the request item record. That is obviously the triggered record. A short description can mention. You can set assignment rules. Something. So here it is asking for the catalog item. And we know right in catalog task also we'll make this variables to be available so that it will be displayed in the catalog task, and then done. Here flow logic else, and then action update record. I am trying to cancel that record. Update record. Which record is this? RITM. State as closed incomplete, since this is not fulfilled. So So we have built this logic for this 64 GB. If it is not 64 GB, then we will just create a task. So I will select a different assignment group. Service desk. Service desk. So this wait condition is to wait until this task is getting completed, because this task should be assigned to this assignment group, and then the technician who is from the assignment group will start working on it, like going to different stages, like from new to in progress and then on hold, or like to perform all those action and completely to task to get completed. This wait option, we have this option even in the workflows. So it will wait till there. This flow will wait till there. So we will test this. So you understood like the basic thing. The trigger condition which you have chosen is application, and then service catalog, and we have this get catalog item variables action available in out of box, which is used to get the variables, to get those variable values. Here I have chosen this one, the trigger record, and we have to type in the catalog item name. Then we have to make this all this available to select it. These are all the variables, and we are trying to check if it is like 64 GB selected by the user. If it is 64 GB, we are trying to set the approval. We are asking for the approval, and then we are checking if it is approved. Then we are creating a task. Else we are trying to close this record, make the request as closed incomplete. If it is not 64 GB, directly create a task without an approval. So I'll activate this flow. Okay, and then even here we need to update. So previously they were using this workflow, but we are trying to replace it with our execution plan. Yes, April.
I think that variable is not there. Looks like sorry, variable, that field is not there. Can you check?
Advanced Studio.
Yeah, can you make it up so that you can change it?
So I feel Apple iPhone 5 test. This is the flow which you have created. I'm trying to set this to this item. So this field should be there here, but since it is a PDA, like this is newly requested, we can get that if we required using like that form layout, and you can get it. So using configure
They
form
were,
layout, you
yeah,
can get.
yeah, they know. I think they can
Yeah.
do. I think. If that field is not there in the form, you
Yeah.
need to get it, guys. Okay, in case if you want. Otherwise, you can update in the list.
So we are trying to raise a request. Okay. So I don't know. Is this already being created? So let's see
So,
the.
just to inform you guys, see, when we are using workflow, it was showing in RITM level workflow, correct? Here it is showing flow context. If you see in RITM, okay,
So
this
here
one
we have this
related.
context. So in related link, it is showing flow context since we are using flow. And if I try to open this flow record, it says flow repeats are not available. Context record. Okay, so here like we have, these are all options available for all the flows. Like the properties is something if you want to change the flow name, or who should be the executive, like who should run as with any roles or something, you can give and try. If there is any restriction, then you can give the roles as well here, and then you can initiate. So it's, so, so this function is like who initiates the flow. So I have requested, so I am the initiator of the flow. So but I might have not have some access. So in that case, like we can provide the roles here. So even the users without this role also can try to execute the flow. So that option is this one, run with roles. So if there is any restriction with the ACLs or something while you try to update or create a record, so that option here we'll be having in the flow properties. And then like flow stages, to set the stages we use this. Flow reporting is turned off, that is why you are not able to like see how the flow for the new one. So I'm trying it, uh, trying to turn it on. So it was earlier it was off, so I'm trying to turn it on with full. So only then you will be able to get out of this. So this error which we are getting here, the flow context should be turned on. So for this, I'm updating it, and it's asking set for the current flow, update it. So I'll try to request it again. So if you see this flow, so this is the current states. To enable this, if you are getting while you are trying this, to enable this you have to get into this three dots like the context menu and enable flow reporting settings. You have to enable this to save this. So if you see, this is the flow of the current RITM which we created, the request which we created. So this is waiting. The flow is still not completed yet. So what all things completed? It got the variables and it is checking this condition, if condition, and it says evaluated true since the requested model is of 64 GB, and it is waiting here. And this or else says not run. Okay, so you see the flow, the RITM is like waiting for approval. So these are is a group approval. There are three members in this group. Any one of them approves this, the flow will move to the next state. So previously it was waiting here. I'm trying to refresh. So if you see, this is also completed, evaluated true. So since I approved it, it has evaluated as true, and this is waiting. So that is this task which is created. So if you see, this is the task and the description as we mentioned. And for assignment group, it is not here. Jam or jam. Sorry, just a minute. Hello. Hello. Oh, no. Um, so I'm meeting last night. So what I tried to show is like this assignment group for 64 GB is IT security, and for other it should be different. And then I'm trying to close this task. So previously it was waiting here. We'll try to close. So if you see, this is completed. So it checked for this logic, and since these conditions are which are all evaluated true, those conditions are satisfied. So only those sub branches are like executed and completed. So we'll try to request of different configuration. So if you change this configuration to 16 GB, I'm trying to request this, and then click on flow context to see the got. So this is completed, and this evaluated false since it is not 64 GB, and it is trying to create a record directly in this task without any approvals. So here there are no approvals, will still the task got created, and assignment group is service desk. Um, any doubts on this?
Just be active. You can ask questions. Okay. Nobody is asking silent. Might be you are sleeping. Anjaya, Sadiq, Harti, Chandana.
Yeah, it is. It's actually a bit difficult to understand. That's why all are silent, it seems.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
Okay.
The basic things you can understand. You don't need to try all this or something. But one is like this update required, which is like basic things to avoid some scripts in some place, and then like this flow designer for workflow. These two are like important to understand. Rest all things you might get it no like when you hands on it when you get hands on it. Later things you can understand, but these things are like important while we learn service now. So what are the different trigger conditions which we can use, and then like for a catalog item how we will do it differently. So those things will just quickly again refresh. Like these are all the trigger condition. The trigger condition is important thing to trigger this flow. So, and when we trigger this is depends on the records, this trigger conditions. Record is like any record level changes you are trying to perform, and you need to create some automation for that, or you need to do something based on when a record is like touched. So for this you can choose record, and you can understand this like when you need to apply this. Schedule is something you can daily any schedule like so if we see how schedule jobs. CH. This topic is completed or not, I'm not sure. So I'll just give an example like schedule jobs or something. So in incidents, we will not close incidents. We will just resolve those incidents. After 7 days, all those incidents should be automatically moved from resolved to closed. Means there should be something triggered automatically or which will check every day, and then move make some changes on the records. So these are like when something is touched, something is getting created or something is updated. Schedules are something which should be done on some time on any daily basis or monthly basis or any repeat intervals, and to perform some actions. The actions are nothing different in all these three.
So I
Actions
think
are
let's
same
take
thing.
example. Sorry for interrupting you. Let's take example, guys. Like we resolve the incident, correct? So we'll wait 7 days or 3 days, correct? So every day we can send a email reminder that your ticket is in resolved state. Shall we go ahead and close? Something like that. You can schedule so that it will keep on goes that email. You don't need to have something scripted or something. So with this, you can just do an UI level only so that it is easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then applications like instead of creating inbound email actions or same things, you can do it here without using script. And like service catalog, so this is important. Service catalogs, we need to create a flows for each service catalogs. For each catalog item which you build, you need to create a service catalog.
Here, I have one query. Like in the application,
Yeah.
uh, uh, means can we select other modules like change module, incident module?
Application, no, we can't. So those like change module, it comes under change request is a table. So in table, that's a record. So when you are trying to create a change, or if it is like updating any change record, So those all comes under record, so you can use this record and then you can use this. So when you choose it, when I choose the update record here, I'm choosing a table here, and on for which conditions this flow should run, that I have applied here. So it's a table like change or problem or incident. So those are also different modules, but it is like a record. Since we will choose the table, whatever table you need, you can choose the table here, and then you can do whatever action you record. You need to delete, create, whatever, like using this out of box uh, functions available in this ServiceNow core spoke.
And one remote table query is there, no? What was that for?
Yeah, that is like for integration purpose. Remote tables are available in third party systems, or like staging tables. So those we don't use it. That's a new feature they have given. Even
Okay,
I have not used it yet.
okay, okay.
Suppose you want to integrate with the database from other system. Okay. So how do you use? You use remote table for recent.
So if we click on remote table, means we have to build a integration point, or we have to use the existing integration point.
Remote tables, that one, like we have to create those.
Okay, maybe in that option we have to create username password for authentication and like that.
Mm,
I will explain you this one.
Okay.
Like ODBC integration, similar way. Okay, like we can
Yeah.
connect external system and try to do it. Okay.
Okay.
So anyone
mm,
has any doubt further?
yeah, this one. So you understood it. This one, like once again through this service catalog, you can try this and if you can let me know like if there are anything. So you are trying to choose this trigger conditioner service catalog, and you have to get this one as mandatory. This is mandatory, and this condition is mandatory. Later you can try this if condition and ask for approvals. So take a snap of like you're asking for approval, but you have to check using this logic if that is approved or something. So you can try all this. Only few things are like standard. Rest all you need to build this all these logics.
So this is the latest one, guys. Workflow is going to be decommission, or they will do detagging from the service now. So flow designer will continue further. Okay. So why do they brought is because they don't want someone programmer or developer to do this coding and all. So why do they call low code no code? Because this is the what they are trying to bring it. There is no code to write right here. You have to understand your logic, what you want to build. So it's just you have to build it. So that is what they are trying to do. Service now.
Yeah.
So future will be this one only. No other flow workflows will be there. Workflows. See, there are some constraints. That is what they are not able to remove the flow designer. Workflows. So they might remove in future.
Yeah. And this one, can we create like record also for with them? Means, for example, if XYZ
Yeah,
condition met, we can create IM
yes,
or
same. You can go to this actions, and then you can check for the create record.
okay, okay,
It's here, and when you get into this, it will just ask for the table, and then you can set the values. If the table which you choose, it will show all the fields available. So previously using workflow, we will not be able to do this. You have to write we have to use run script activity. You have to glide record any table. If you want to create incident, you have to glide record incident table and then initialize and then set values, and then these all scripts you have to write and then create. Here you choose create record action, and then you can choose a table and set the values. And also you can use the scripts as well to do this. So here like date, you can set any static date you can use, or like if you want to use a script here. So this will show the example scripts how we are using here. This is a simple one, like it is showing the example of how to get short description. uh, Short description. So this is a code snippet. Here what they are doing, if you want to get short description from somewhere else, like short description is called fd underscore data dot trigger is this trigger from here, and then we are trying to set the current short description. The return will be the answer of this, whatever we are trying to return, the same will be set in this field. You can perform any script, and then finally return that here. It whatever this line is the one. If you type just return, and then whatever, like even in the quotations, if you say system something, whatever you type here, that will set to this field. You can use any kind of logic, like glide recording a table, getting some value from some table. Those are all things you can try.
Guys, do you have any doubt?